make sure we follow. So as we're learning about this, we're going to learn together. I don't expect you to remember all these pieces because we're going so fast. But we're going to post this on the Sherrod website so that you can see it. And you're going to get a permission form that allows you to bring your own technology. And some of you have already turned that permission form in. You're ahead of the game. So here are the guidelines. Number 1, it's only for educational purposes and permission must be granted from the teacher. Yes, that's right, 6th graders. You will not be able to text your friends during class. This is only going to be for educational reasons and only when your teacher gives you permission. It covers all of our devices. It covers laptops, it covers smartphones, it covers tablets like an iPad, and you are responsible for recording your serial numbers at home. It's really important because when you bring your technology to school, we'll do our very best to help you protect it. But if it breaks or if it gets lost, it's going to be your responsibility. Going on, we want to make sure we bring our device to school fully charged. We don't have enough plugs in this building to let everybody charge their device. So it's going to be very important for you to charge it when you get to school or before you get to school. And all of the district guidelines still apply. So you might be asking yourself, Mr. Varnell, I thought we couldn't use phones at school. Well, you're correct. Well, but Mr. Varnell, what if my phone and the thing I use the internet with are the same? Well, how we'll work with that is if you are interested in using a smartphone in class because your teacher gave permission, then your teacher will tell you when it's okay and how it's okay. So your teacher will give you the permission in order to let you use that phone in class. And it will not be used as a phone. It will be used as a way to access internet or apps that are helping you with what's going on in class. All right, teachers, a reminder as we go through here, if you have any questions or students in your class have any questions, you can post them on that Today's Meet site and we'll see if we can answer those. All of the district guidelines are going to apply. So you have signed off. You do this every year. You and your parents get a packet on the first day of school that talks about the permissions. So you have signed off on all the student code of conduct, which says, Mr. Varnell, I'm going to follow these rules, and I'm going to do my very best and be a good student when I represent Sherrod. So all of that is still the same. Now, this is kind of a note for our big kids. Some of our really smart kids already know how to do this. They know how to get to sites that are blocked. If you do that, we know which ones are blocked, and you immediately lose that privilege. So instead of trying to, be sneaky, let's use it correctly. That way everybody can continue to use it. While you're on campus, and we'll learn more about this when we get closer, you need to make sure that you're only using the wireless network that we use. And so we'll talk about how you connect, and we're going to use the AISD connection, and that will let you get on as a student so you can access the internet here at the building. And anything that you are talking about at school is going to be used for educational reasons. So in other words, you can't go on and check your Facebook. You can't go and send a message to your mom. That's not what this is for. This is about using our tools to make us smarter. All right, really super important. You must have permission from your teacher every single time if you do anything, but especially if you're recording, if you're taking pictures, if you're publishing anything, and that means you're going to put it out there so other people can see it. So let's say that my teacher, and let's see, it's Miss Scott. Let's say Miss Scott asked us to do she asked us to do a project. And for that project, what we're going to do is we're going to write a song that talks about what we're doing in history class. So we want to record that song to show other people. So that can only happen if we've been given permission from our teacher and we've been given permission to record it from the other students, and we've talked about how we can publish that appropriately. So those are really important things. Now also we need to know that this is not something you have to bring. Not everybody has technology at home, and so it's okay if you don't. You are not required to do this. We are working to make sure we have enough technology to help you. We have 2 iPad labs that we can use. Each of those has 30 iPads in it, and so teachers sometimes will check those out. Maybe your class has done that, and this is a good way for them to come and help you in your rooms. Okay, we are not, as a district, the district is not responsible for lost, damaged, or stolen items. That means if it gets broken or it gets taken, then it will be your responsibility, not the school's. And the staff is not responsible for troubleshooting devices. Troubleshooting, that's a big word. Maybe that's a new word for you. Troubleshooting means finding out what's wrong with it. So you need to be able to make your laptop or your iPad or your phone, you need to be able to make that work at school. Okay? I see some questions coming in. Let's stop and look at some of our questions. I have a question here. If I don't have technology of my own, how do I get to use this new privilege? That's a great question. We're working to make sure every classroom has iPads. And we're not going to get there this year, but we are working towards that. Every teacher has one, so there may be times in class when you use that. Also, we have those iPad labs, and we have the computer labs. So you actually have access now. Here's another question. What if my teacher has not given permission and I use it anyway? Good question. We will collect the device because you used it the wrong way. So let's say you were using your smartphone and your teacher didn't give you permission. We will take it up and your parents will have to come and get it back, and you will lose that privilege for the rest of the year. And if you were doing the wrong thing with it, we'll have to talk about some other consequences too. But we're going to learn together, and so we'll be able to keep going, keep moving forward. Are we allowed to keep phones in our pockets to protect them? Yes, you are. When you have a phone, there are 2 rules in the Code of Conduct. One rule is it must be off. The other rule is it must be out of sight. So if my teacher gives me permission to use technology, that's when I can take my phone out and turn it on to use it, but not until you are given very specific permission. And we'll see in just a minute what that permission looks like. Question here from Miss Statler's class, really good question. Will we be able to access YouTube? The answer is most of the time. There are teacher devices that are in the building right now can access YouTube. If you are used to using YouTube at home because there's some good things on there, then we're going to talk about that. So you can use YouTube for certain things. Now, Mr. Varnell, what if I watch something on YouTube that I'm not supposed to be watching? Then you're violating the rules and your device may get taken up and you'll lose that privilege. So remember, if we're using our device in the right place, at the right time, with the right attitude, you don't have anything to worry about. So as long as you use it correctly, we're going to be in good shape. Okay?